can't. I believe there's only one that says. I don't know about you.
Not after that.
You all love and hate each other at the same time?
Me, Debbie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Roger, you.
Yeah.
I don't think about stuff there. It's planting the zone and fields and stuff.
BZA first.
You have a seat, Todd.
I had my candy bowl. He hit my.
No, he, Debbie
Did the
would
kids
be,
were down, they still got it.
Said, listen,
Debbie would be hiding from you.
is everybody here?
We have to wait till 5:30 anyway.
Oh, do we? I thought we'd get Donald, get him took care of.
I think we have to wait till 5:30.
Todd, how's your pap doing?
He's a little under the weather, got a bug of some sort. Spent a couple days in the bed,
Okay.
coughing and sneezing.
Yeah, boys, when you get around people, you never know.
Yep. Yeah, he's been there between reports every day.
Yeah.
There's always somebody that wants to come back here and talk to him, so.
And I didn't see him yesterday, so I thought he might be feeling better.
Now,
Good
what he
deal.
said,
You know, of course, at night, he doesn't.
she won't know what she wants to do.
Yeah.
He's got no energy.
What a wire and tire.
About 26. Yeah,
Oh, Chris, you all right?
mine's 100.
But the blue light's working? Okay. Last night I checked, it wasn't working.
Is that the other man, is that Larry and Jackie?
Thought you ordered me some for the student buddy.
Well, you're gonna tell,
You got
Donald,
some too?
tell Donald you have to swear him in.
We need to mix it up. Todd, you all right? Yeah.
Bill, they're gonna do the BZA first. Oh, there's a.
You don't sound too excited about it.
It's fun.
Yeah. Oh, Mr. Nuss.
Is there enough seats if I sit there or?
Yeah, that would make
Middle
that
two.
little.
Well, yeah, so where do you want to? Been busy day.
Yeah, I was telling Donald, I went in this morning, I never brought out just a minute ago. They've been outside all day long.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
How about the chief?
Me, I've been outside time or two.
How's your back, baby?
Yeah, his blood pressure was bad yesterday, but he's feeling a little bit better today, I believe. It's 5:28. Mine's an orange. Or pineapple.
Well, that's because they call the same board.
Says what?
Those first.
Somebody set mine up first.
But yours is somewhere down there.
Last time there was
Is mine right?
Yeah.
Todd's is right.
Somebody playing with me. It's time.
Okay, it's time. Okay. We call the Board of County Unicoi Board from the Zoning Appeals to order, please. We appreciate everybody here and everybody's welcome. We will call on Seth Miller to do our invocation.
Dearly Father, we thank you for allowing us to gather here today in your presence, Lord, to set policies and procedures for the town and to listen to the folks that have came to talk about their properties, Lord. Grant us the wisdom and the strength to make decisions that are just and right according to your law, Lord, more than anything. Just forgive us for our sins, for we know that we have came toward your glory. For in your name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Now we do the salute to the flag. Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Kevin McIntyre, Mayor.
Here.
Wanda Radford, Chair.
Here.
Andy Lander. Here. Charles Day.
Here.
Alison Woodward, Secretary, and Max.
Bill, has everybody had a chance to look over the Monday, November 3rd, 2025 BZA minutes? And if we have, their approval of them?
Motion to approve. Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Okay, roll call?
Kevin McIntyre, Mayor.
Yes.
Wanda Radford, Chair.
Yes.
Andy Lander.
Yes.
Charles Day.
Yes.
Alison Woodward, Secretary, Max.
Okay. Next is the administration of oath, and that's the people that's going to be presenting to the board personally, to the board. And I think we have Mr. Donald Simberly, and we also have Larry Lindley. Okay. If you will come to the podium, please, Mr. Simberly, and raise your right hand and state your name and your address.
Don Finley, 154 Assembly Lane, Irving, Tennessee.
Do you affirm to tell the truth and all the truth as you know it before this board?
I do.
Thank you. You may be seated. Okay, Mr. Lindley. If you will raise your right hand and state your name and your address.
Larry Lindley. I'm actually a resident of South Dakota, but right now I'm residing in Bluff City at Lakeview RV Park.
Do you affirm to tell the truth and all the truth as you know it before this board?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Troy, do we also have someone else that we have to, that will need to do that?
Yes, if you don't mind to stand up and take a look at the class, we're gonna ask for this to be added to the agenda later.
Jeff Edwards, 147 Garland Road, Unicoi.
Okay. Do you affirm to tell the truth and all the truth as you know it before this board? Thank you. Okay, do you have anyone else for you?
No.
Okay. All right. Under the new business is discussion of barn placement for property located at 154 Simberly Lane for Donald Simberly. So, can you address the problem, please?
That's my address, I live in Irving, but the barn will be located at 328 Dry Creek Road, with the Benton School District. But I still hold an address, but it's on this side of the Dry Creek Road.
And then what you.
I just need a permit if I have to have one, to see what I have to do to build a barn there.
Okay. So is that what he needs, what's his
So
procedure?
he's wanting to build, he already has a barn there, and he's wanting to build a new barn, close to the old barn. So you're gonna tear the old one down once you're done building the new barn, correct?
Yes, sir.
So as our ordinance states, you know, you can't have more than one like that, but if it's a process with barns especially, if he's gonna tear the old one down after he gets done, we just need to make sure he does that, that's okay with us. So it just needs this special exception to be able to build the barn.
I just hope it stands until I get the new one built, because it's not pop. The barn built 1937.
What, the old one there?
The old one.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna build it, I'm gonna get somebody to build it for me. So,
Okay.
Is there any discussion on the board? If not, is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Got a motion, and we got a second.
do I have to have a permit?
Not tonight, you'll get that later on. We'll get it from the building inspector, we'll get it on there.
When?
So you can come, if they approve this, you can come as soon as tomorrow and get that process started.
I'll be already on.
Have a good
Thank you,
evening, Don.
Don.
But we have a motion in a second, we gotta do
Got a
the vote.
motion, and a second. Roll call?
Kevin McIntyre, Mayor.
Yes.
Wanda Radford, Chair.
Yes.
Andy Landers. Charles Day.
Yes.
Allison Woodward, Secretary, is active. All right, be ready to go for it in the morning. You're good?
Yeah.
Thank you,
Good luck to the
Thank you,
ball
Don.
game.
thank you.
Okay, now, the next one's discussion of shed placement for property located at 1220 Whispering Pines Road for Larry and Jackie Linley. Okay.
I guess I'm kind of new here. We've been traveling for 20 years, and so we're looking to settle here eventually. And we bought the property at 1220 Whispering Pines Road. That's not its legal address because there's no house on it. Okay, but anyway, that's what the map says. And I'm looking to put a shed up in a clearing in the back middle of the property, just so that we can store equipment and stuff. We travel, and so we have to haul a lot of stuff back and forth to do anything up there. Just put a shed until we get a house built. We're not gonna build a big house, we're gonna build a 1,000 square foot, 2-bedroom cabin eventually. But we do not have any home on the property, and that, I guess, violates the rules that you have right now. So I'm just asking to have that shed built. I think you have a map that shows where that is.
The map is in your packet, and the shed will be the red square.
Right. Right. And it's like 400 feet off the road and over 100 feet every other direction.
I couldn't, I went out through there, I couldn't find it.
He says because it wasn't no address there, and I didn't.
Oh, okay, there's no mailbox or nothing there.
Because it's no principal address.
Okay.
And
So do you want to speak to it, Tori?
yeah, so what our ordinance says is you have to have a principal structure before, you have an accessory structure. But you're gonna store like your building materials and tools and whatnot,
Yeah.
all your and our equipment to do the house, correct?
Yes, correct.
So in times when there's gonna be a house built, we have let them put a shed on it to be able to store the materials. So I would recommend.
So that would that come under also a special?
Hardship.
Special exception? All right. Okay, is there any discussion?
Well, is that where the driveway is steep and goes up
Yeah,
on
that is a steep driveway.
where the gravel is coming out in the road?
Not anymore. I had it paved to keep that from happening.
Okay, it's paved all
Not
the,
all the way, it's paved 50%.
okay.
It's like 400 feet of paved.
Well, that's good news. So it's,
So then we don't have a gravel problem anymore.
okay, it's all good.
Yes.
Okay, good deal. Glad to hear that. Okay.
All right. Now, I think you made it, we've got one motion, Andy Landers. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Charles Day. Roll call.
Kevin McIntyre, Mayor.
Yes.
Wanda Radford, Chair.
Yes.
Andy Landers.
Yes.
Charles Day.
Yes.
Allison Woodward, Secretary is absent.
All right, next on our agenda is the election, and this
You're
is,
good to go, sir.
Thank you, Larry.
Yes, sir, thank you.
election of officers, and, this is what we do in our March meeting every year, is for our chair, vice chair, and secretary. So, the floor is open for nomination for chair for the, oh, I'm sorry, I did then, didn't I? I'm sorry.
No, he's going under Dakota business.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that was the only one that was on here, okay, all right, so I'm
Okay,
right.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. It's okay. Okay, we have a nomination
for what?
for chair.
I nominate Wanda
No,
Radford.
he did, I said we got a nomination.
Second.
All right, nomination, any discussion? Roll call,
Kevin McIntyre, Mayor.
Yes.
Wanda Radford, Chair.
abstain,
Andy Landers.
Yes.
Charles Day.
Yes.
Allison Woodward, Secretary is absent. Nominations are carried.
okay? The next one is vice chair. Floor is open for nomination for vice chair.
Nominate
Charles,
Charles.
okay.
And
Dr. Day, second.
Dr. David.
All right, we got a first and second. All right, roll call,
Kevin McIntyre, Mayor.
Yes.
Wanda Radford, Chair.
yes.
Andy Landers.
Yes.
Charles Day.
Abstain.
Allison Woodward, Secretary is absent.
Okay. Now for secretary. I nominate, Randy Anders.
Landy.
Landy.
Oh, Randy.
I'll be calling it.
For what? Randy Landers?
Andy Landers.
Still Randy Landers?
Randy Landers.
Randy Landers, yeah,
I second.
okay. All right, there's a
second.
first and a second. Roll call,
Kevin McIntyre, Mayor.
Yes.
Wanda Radford, Chair.
yes.
Andy Landers.
Abstain.
Charles Day.
Yes.
Allison Woodward, Secretary is absent.
Okay, that takes care of that. So, on, here the public comment for items on the agenda. Does anyone have any comments on the agenda items tonight that would like to address the board? All right, under other business, is that where our business comes in for him?
Yeah, we would like to ask for a motion to add Mr. Edwards to the agenda. He would like to ask for a variance for the property on Gulfport.
Okay.
I make a motion to amend the agenda to add Jeff Edwards to it.
And he's already been sworn in, so, do you want to?
We want to say.
Well, second.
Second.
All right. Roll call,
Kevin McIntyre, Mayor.
Yes.
Wanda Radford, Chair.
yes.
Andy Landers.
Yes.
Allison Day. Charles Day.
Yes.
Allison Woodward. I didn't.
Okay. Do you want Mr. Jeff to address the board, or you want to speak on it?
Yeah, Jeff, if you don't mind, can you kind of
What's
give
his
us
last name?
the idea of what
Edwards.
you're going to do here?
Yeah, setbacks, I bought this property at 134, 134, Country Club Drive. The setback is 30 foot from the property line in the front, and I'd like to get it, bring it back, bring it up to 30. So I have to,
What was that address, Jeff?
24.
Is that across from you? Yes, straight across from you.
You just want the 10-foot variance?
I'm okay as long as you don't do it basement, you He's gonna block my view. Well,
Well, this is true, or this is a house, it's true.
So, I will say on this one, Keith, you know how we have to have a hardship for a variance? He technically does not have one for this lot, but most of those houses to either side of him, either way, are closer than our setback, our front setbacks are. So, just on our ordinance sake, I have to recommend denial, but this is completely up to the board. The one beside it is very.
So this would actually be, so actually, if we did vote, how we vote, this would actually say it would conform to what's already there.
Yeah.
What's already
Yeah, these,
You're only needing 10 foot, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
I make a motion to approve.
Who seconded it?
he says the driveway's gonna come inside of it. Anyhow,
Okay, so any more discussion? Not, then roll call?
Kevin McIntyre, Mayor.
yes.
Wanda Radford, Chair.
Yes.
Andy Landers. Charles Day.
Yes.
Allison Woodward, absent.
Okay. Have you got any announcements for anybody? Do you have any said?
Just we'll be having a bid unsealing on Wednesday for some equipment at 2 o'clock in Hall.
All right, so a motion for adjournment?
Motion adjourned.
All in favor, by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, this meeting's adjourned, thank you.
We're looking at me like that for.
Sure.
Good, I shouldn't have made you.
See, Andy, before, he thought that he had to do a whole lot of stuff on that secretary, all he's supposed to do.
Son of me.
Yeah, that would have to wait till that. I'm gonna have to add him on this because of him. He's already, that's what Tom said, on some of his.
You need a minute?
Well, that's how it is. I didn't go back on
This meeting started, second meeting of the night is the planning commission. It's March.
See,
See, Jeff.
We've had the invocation and the pledge. Call the roll, please.
Kevin McIntyre, Mayor.
here,
Todd Hopkins, Chair.
Here.
Bill Nuss. Here. Charles Day.
Here.
David Coleman. Wanda Radford, Secretary.
Here.
Andy Landers.
Here.
Full house.
Full house, everybody's here. All right, first item on the agenda is approve last month's minutes.
Okay, in looking over those, I make a motion to approve them, but there is a correction which, Corey is aware of that needs to be corrected on the first and second of the approval of the minutes and have the same approval by the same person who's correcting that, so that's.
So I have already corrected that on my end, so what I'll do is I'll just send a copy out in the morning and we can just sign it if approved.
Is there any other discussion on the minutes? If not.
That's what.
No.
All right, got a motion?
Who made the motion?
All right. All right, motion second, any other discussion? Seth?
Kevin McIntyre, Mayor.
yes.
Todd Hopkins, Chair.
Yes.
Bill Nuss. Charles Day.
Yes.
David Coleman. Wanda Radford, Secretary.
Yes.
Andy Landers.
Yes. Motion carries, minutes are approved. First, got nothing in the old business, first item under new business is to discuss the sign limits.
So it's actually changed, that was a typo on my behalf. We sent that one out before I corrected it. It's actually the discussion of the Rachel Lot property.
Okay?
Do we need,
So what are we doing?
we need to amend the agenda for that or not?
No, this was an agenda that was posted later on, so it was still,
Okay.
it's still okay.
There's no way I got the wrong one.
Just a correction.
So,
Are you misliked? So what are we doing?
this and.
Yeah, where-
Check the box.
What's the address?
And
1029 Marlton Road.
I've owned it 3 years or 3.5, and I've been trying to sell at least half of that because I keep getting moved for things that I need to do to it. I've had only on 11,000 views for it online. I've had a lot of looks, a lot of interest. Everyone finds the same problem. My septic is already permitted, it is going on the hill, it's not a big hill. I already carved out the bases, anyone who lives here, you probably can see that in the drive, because I'm gonna put something small, that was my plan when I bought it, before the square footage changed. So I only have a certain amount of feet at the bottom, there's a guy wire, there's setbacks that, we already had, I've already come to you and had use of the easements and things like that. And the unit that I want to put on there is by year-round cabins, it is modular, not manufactured. It does rise in value, just like a normal stick-built home. It's 14 by 32, but that only makes, and that's what fits right there on that down below section, because the whole hill has to be septic and secondary, I guess, there's something to do. Really no more room to comply with all of the other rules. The best I can do is that plan down there. But it's only 100 feet. That's the 14, because it's so narrow in that drive. Does anyone remember what it looks like? So it's really, really narrow. You've got the retaining wall, because you're at the bottom of the hill, you have the footage at the base to have a French drain so that it drains correctly. Then you have to have 5 feet for any unit you bring in to do the stairs on both sides, so that's 5 or 10. So now you're really up to 15, and it's only like 20 in that drive area to use. So it has to be what would be classified as a single wide. But if you go with a cabin instead of this modular, you fit all the rules. It's 14 by 32 long. I think it's 54, but it's 440 square feet. So really, all I need to clear all hurdles to be compliant is a ground wall. That's it.
But that still falls under the 750 square foot minimum. And we granted you a variance to put a double wide on there not long ago.
Well, the double wide didn't need a variance. It's that the area down below that I just described to you needed the easement to put 20 feet in it, which is the minimum width of a double wide, of 10 by 10. So that took it into the easement there. But as it turns out, there's not enough this way, because after the septic guy came back and we went through all of that, we took more footage with the retaining wall, the French drain, the stairs that have to come off the house to pass code. So it just really doesn't work, and everyone who's looked at the property knows the same thing. So when it's just sitting there, unusable unless I can get this, very complicated, a smaller house.
If we do it for you, we have to do it for everybody.
What, you gonna live there or you gonna sell it?
It's for me.
So, just a clarification, there would be no way we can use the grandfather or turn it.
No.
I
No.
know that. I know that. This would have to be a special event.
Right.
I sold my townhouse to Elizabeth to try to free up all of my ability to qualify so that I can do this right now before I have to let it sit there and think for it forever, because then normal life can do what they want to do. So I really do want to do it.
Yes, see,
Sorry, go ahead, Mayor.
that's okay. What's the square footage out there, 430?
I think it's 140.
440.
It's 448.
So you'd need, 190 more feet? 150.
Thought about stick building a house?
Can you fit
150 for square feet.
300.
Plus can't find
Need
room.
300.
Yeah.
It's 750, right?
The only
Yeah.
real way to get in costs with the rest of the neighborhood for how, for 750 to afford is not to stick build. The cost is, it's just not going to get this one. It's too expensive. And I have the upside down right at the, not many people do the upside down.
And I tell you, I don't have a problem with it. I know the sink wipe used to sit in there. Raymond Tolley lived there with it. And, I mean, but, if we do it we're gonna have to do it for everybody. That's,
This is a hardship lot, though.
I know.
You have to at least.
Yeah, where it's at.
Have a real hardship.
I mean, I'm just telling you what I'm thinking, you know what I mean?
Which does take your pool down significantly. It's not just every time you can hear it, it's every when there's a real hardship law.
It's just a bad piece of property and, I mean,
Well, did you ever come to the board before, when you bought it to see, you know, what our,
Yeah, I did due diligence, and I also, I never said anything before because I'm trying to make it a habit not to talk. I'm just like, one person telling themselves, but diligence involves selling it, just outright lie. That was part of my due diligence. Then the fact that it didn't have city taxes made me think it was outside the city, but I didn't want to like everything city taxes. And so I had already bought it, when all of that, thinking that I was not going to have to go up against all the regulations. And that didn't turn out to be true. In fact, I bought it thinking it was 1.32, that's how bad she was. So I didn't have a good time with it all the way up to it, but I decided to make the best of it. And then I waited a little bit of time to see if it would sell, to see if someone else could consider what they want. And it just wasn't me, but absolutely everybody that's come to it. And I mean, it's an enormous amount of people. You know what I know, that it's not workable in the way that the rules need it to be workable. It needs to be something that's
What size is that lot?
0.82.
But it's a
But I really messed up 0.82.
yeah, it's like a pan, it's like a handle. You got a strip, and it opens up into the main lot. So,
And it's a strip right at the cemetery, so there's other things to think about.
yeah, that strip's probably useless.
Yeah, so I mean, it's really not 0.82. And then the ground is not virgin anymore, we're halfway down the hill, so that complicates the subject. So the way he described it to me, we can still, it went from a 3.2 to a 2.2. We can still do a 2.2 with a very expensive pump system, but that means that the base is where it needs to go. Can't cut the hill anymore, nor can you move, which the hill goes like this, which means you can't take 20 feet and go all the way straight like they are, because you have to cut it in the middle to put a straight unit. It has to be a thinner unit. So we're away from single lots, and we're on cabin, which is 14, and 14 is doable in a shorter range where we get the one and don't have to cut into the anymore. It's pretty much still in the one.
yeah, right there below Cooper Cemetery.
Trail ditch
Yeah.
down here on the right, I mean,
Yeah, on the left, going up the
yeah,
hill.
left going toward.
Yeah.
I have pictures of the property on my phone, if that helps if you want to see.
I think I know where you're at.
And then curve, you go around on the left.
Right.
And the
Right.
permit is already there for second, it is most definitely going to be.
It's right across where Dallas Gregg lives.
Margaret Dallas.
Yeah. And that's the only thing, you know, the square footage. Everybody and their grandma's gonna be coming in here painting.
That's it, I mean,
That's the only thing.
But you're back to hardship.
Yeah.
It's not everybody.
well, no, it's not a hardship.
It's the right to ask, but
Oh, I know, everybody can say, well, I got a hardship, I can't afford a bigger house, that's my
But
hardship.
you had to designate a hardship for me, it wasn't I just decided by myself.
Yeah.
You can't just say to the city, oh yeah, this is too tough. You have to,
Well, we did designate a hardship and variance to city hardship.
yeah. And so that's where this is going, that's the only reason there's anywhere to put anything at all. Much less.
So what was the reason you couldn't move the double lot in there that we have agreed to the variance for?
The setback.
That's up on the hill.
Yeah, but the tanks are actually going on the left and right side, which takes up some of the width there, and then the pump system is going in the hill, and the leach fields are in the hill, it's all going to come in there.
So you couldn't move it closer to the road?
Well, there's just not enough room. I mean, there's 16 feet. You've got to have the 5 feet for, egress or whatever they call it. So there's not enough room. It's not very wide, and it gets narrower as you go down the drive.
just don't see how we could do it for you and we're not doing it for anybody else. I mean, we'd have people coming back and saying, you did it for her, but you wouldn't do it for us.
Yeah.
What's the difference? And
It might even be a little bit different if it was asking for 50 square feet, it's
Yeah.
still 700, it's still,
It's
that's,
close to half.
yes, I mean, can't you find anything, I mean, what about stick building?
And you can find anybody to build what they want. So, well, at least I haven't had any sway or any ability to command anyone to do that, and it's very expensive. And then the comps don't make any sense, you're upside down in a very small house.
yeah. Unfortunately, as we've said forth before, we can't consider cost in the market.
No,
Mhm.
no.
Can you buy something closer to the size that's required?
How close do I have to get?
Well, again, you're at 440 and it's 750, so you're closer to half than you are.
So 575, can you entertain 575, if I can get it?
Yeah, I mean, again,
Oh, here's,
the problem is, you don't, well, I wouldn't consider this a hardship. This,
You can go out and measure, there's only a certain number of footage.
all right, then what I, you know,
You got tanks.
I'm not trying to be rude, but what I would say is then, you didn't do your due diligence when you bought the lot. You're buying a lot to build on, you gotta make sure you got enough room to
I
do.
did, but it wasn't a 750 square foot minimum when I bought it. That was 3 years ago, so there was no issue in bringing in anything smaller. Then the rules changed while I owned it.
Right.
I didn't buy it intending to break the rules or meet.
No, I'm not,
Or ask for a favor.
do you not understand our point of view? We've got a rule that says it's gotta be 750. If we let you do it, then we gotta let everybody do it.
then we might as well change our ordinance to there's no
That's the
size
problem.
limit,
That's the.
and we can't
that's-
do that.
How many properties can there be where people have owned them for years and haven't built, that are gonna come back to you and ask for that? I mean, you're talking about a grandfather, or whatever word you want to use, but that's not a future consideration, that is it's quantified already by the people.
Yeah.
Special exceptions give set precedents and would therefore create
Right.
future problems.
Well, really, I think our grandfather in is actually when it became a town, was it? That's where our grandfather language is used.
That's a nomenclature that's being used incorrectly. There's no way we could grandfather for this property without grandfathering everything
Yeah.
everywhere.
That's what I mean, and that's the only time we've ever done the grandfathering is when,
When something is pre-existing.
yeah, when we
There was
become a
something
town.
built already.
Right.
Yeah, or even if you would have pulled the permit before the rule changed, even then you could be grandfathered in. But with nothing existing currently, I don't see a way to do this. Now, unless you're okay with your minimum being 445 or 440 or whatever it was, that's the only way.
And why is that not,
Well, that brings in a whole can of worms. I mean, we went through all that with
Yeah.
square footage, and we tried to be reasonable with that at 750.
We had people wanting to build,
Originally, it was 1,500.
Yeah.
It was 1,500.
we had people wanting to build 250 square foot houses and 300 square foot houses.
what does
So-
it matter if you're abiding by the new single wide rule, what does it matter how big they are?
You've got a $1 million home, and you don't want somebody coming in and putting 250 square foot homes all around you. And that's just the way it is. That's what zoning is for. That's what these rules are for, so.
Sense of protection, there, I think, and other people that have purchased and invested in their particular spot. I mean, that's the way we try to accommodate for everybody.
say?
Double wides are okay.
Right.
That's what it is.
No. Double wides are good.
What's that?
That's the one that I'm talking about. Work on bringing it. It's adorable.
Thank you.
Everyone will love it. It's not very long, but it will fit the lot and it will look like it's supposed to look. It will look nice, and it will be the nicest one in there.
Yeah.
I think that's the one you already showed us.
No, ma'am, that's-
That's a different one, okay.
It's different.
Okay.
Just so everybody knows what they're saying no to.
And see, Rachel, the thing about this is we're already under what a lot of people want. aren't we?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A lot of people,
Wanted
they really didn't want to go under 1,000.
A lot of people disagree with you. too.
Yeah,
A lot of
square
people
feet,
disagree.
you know.
There's a lot of people who live here who do not play in the fields that y'all play.
Well, we've not ever heard from them.
Yeah, we haven't heard that.
We've never heard
You're
that.
the really first. Well, they kind of work very easy to get along with, I just, when you create a rule, you just can't.
You can't break it and start bending it, then you don't have any rules.
Yeah, I
I
would
mean,
like
it'd be
to-
nice to help you, but
Before we do anything, I would like to go out and look at your lot, if you let me stop by sometime and get out and walk around.
You can go anytime you want.
Okay.
Nothing
This
really
is just up for discussion.
Oh, I know, yeah.
Anyway, so.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'd like to do that and, let us look at it. Okay?
Okay? And then if there's any way that I can go any longer, what's the minimum that I can convince you is?
Right now, it's 750.
750. They make a two-story,
The septic's a problem.
Well, the land and the septic together.
The lot is the problem.
The lot is the problem.
don't they make a two-story
Right, but
now?
I mean, the septic has to be septic goes right at the house. I mean,
Exactly.
There's one flat area.
Um,
That's what I was saying,
It's a bad law.
yeah.
There's not much other way to say it.
To go above the septic?
no, walk in the house, like the dormers, if we got dormers, don't you make one room there, or,
You got a second story,
you
and they make a two-story in
know,
that.
inside that,
Move some dirt around.
I imagine that if you could find a builder, you might be able to build a two-story, which is why I put it for sale. I said that already. I said it the last time I was here. If I can't have anything on it, somebody else can, but nobody will buy it because nobody is doing that. 10,700 people and everybody wants to put a double wide. And the reason is because then they all say the same thing. It's the most cost-effective way not to have to hassle with finding a builder and getting people to show up. And costs are really expensive, and there's just not a lot of options.
What are you asking for the lot? What, 47,000?
Let's not get too far into that one.
No, I know, no, I'm not saying, that's just a.
That's just a cautionary.
Yeah, no, that's just,
Yeah.
yeah, no.
But I've entertained offers much lower than that, and people still come to try to bring their people to see if this can make it work, and they can't,
That sounds.
which is why I came back.
All right, yeah, let's look at it and,
Ms. Lyon, can we see that photo again of the,
And how will I know you've been? There's another one that doesn't have a little print on the front, one that you to see.
is it?
And they can be cabin exterior, or they can be painted. And then we'll have a retaining wall 10 feet out all the way around behind it, for approach drains. Normal driveway up to the right-hand side, and then landscaping, because I'm a really big utility. So that's
He
pretty
does.
much my plan.
yeah.
He does. Does that, I don't
there
think.
used to be Chinese.
Yeah,
How will I know
yeah,
the answer?
but I don't know.
How will I know that y'all will
Maybe
be?
we need to
Or
look
just
at it.
anything?
They can move the septic.
How will I know that you've been?
You can come back to us next month. I mean, this was just a discussion anyway, right? Yeah. so,
Okay.
We'll do that.
submit an official request. You know, go to the town hall and see Seth, and,
Officially requested.
yes, yeah, put down and,
Yeah, what is it?
Official
Doesn't
request.
can't vote,
yeah,
so they can't take any action today regardless, because no one.
just officially request what you want to do, put it in writing, get it on the agenda.
Is the septic,
I know where we're thinking.
is the septic system marked out there where it's at? Is it?
Yeah, I
Working.
have that in mind too. Like, normally I bring my paperwork with me, but to do all of this, I did sell my townhouse, and I literally just put everything in store till Monday, and I didn't know I didn't have this. I thought it was in my voluntary discount.
And, Todd's willing to go out there and look at the lot. Sometimes, somebody will have a different idea about what might work. So I think that's good.
Okay, thank you for your time.
Yes,
Okay.
Thank
ma'am.
you. All right, next up, looks like we're doing elections too. So first up is chair.
Make the motion to call.
Second.
All right, got a motion and a second. Any further nominations?
Kevin McIntyre, mayor.
Yes.
Todd Hobson, chair.
Yeah.
Bill Nuss.
Yes.
Charles Day.
Yes.
David Woolman.
Yes.
Wanda Radford, secretary.
Yes.
Andy Lander.
Yes.
Another year. Vice chair.
I recommend that we do what money might do.
I'll second.
Yes. All right, got a motion and a second for Bill, for vice chair. Any other nominations? Seth?
Kevin McIntyre, mayor.
Yes.
Todd Hobson, chair.
Yes.
Bill Nuss. Charles Day.
Yes.
David Holman.
Yes.
Wanda Radford, secretary.
Yes.
Andy Lander.
Yes. All right, you've got another year of sense. All right, secretary. Current secretary is Wanda. Okay.
Second.
All right, motion and second for Wanda for another year. Any other nominations?
Kevin McIntyre, mayor.
Yes.
Todd Hobson, chair.
Yes.
Bill Nuss.
Yes.
David Holman.
Yes.
Charles Day.
Yes.
Wanda Radford, secretary.
Abstain.
Andy Lander. Yes.
All right. Any other business? Got anything for us?
Well, go ahead.
How's the crime in the town of Unicoi? Good crime? Corey, got anything for us?
I just, you all already know, but officially I want to put it in the record that I am leaving,
Not acceptable.
so.
No.
And we,
Vote on that, no.
Just officially, my last day will be March 20th. It's been a pleasure working with you all. I feel like we've done so much in my past 3 years being here.
You'll be missed. Yeah, you'll be missed. You know, before you came, we kind of had the rotating.
yeah, we did.
There was a 3 or 4 or 5 year stretch there where we'd get somebody and they'd be here for a couple of months and then they'd be gone.
I've made, and I hope it's been evident, I've made strides to get away from that idea that it's just a revolving door over there. Thankfully, Tom and I have both been there 3 years. If it weren't a good opportunity, I wouldn't leave now, but it's just an opportunity I can't pass up. But I will be, we're in the process of hiring someone, and I plan to train them while I'm still here, so hopefully we won't skip a week.
Congrats on the new opportunity.
You think by the 20th, or
Mhm.
will they be here the 20th?
They should, yeah, we're looking to get them in next week.
Yeah. Seth, you got anything for us?
No, I've already made my announcement in the last one.
What?
And it'll be sad to see Corey go, for sure. He's
Yeah.
going to work with it.
Yeah, he's been a good one.
But now we'll see what the next one, he or she might leave right after the next meeting, you know.
it was in court again, under the most current sale fell through. It looks like it's now going to foreclosure. So court was reset for September the 11th to see if somebody buys it, if it gets foreclosed, auction, or whatever.
I still say the county will end up with it one of these days. Go to a tax sale or. Yeah, there hasn't been a whole lot. There was somebody there with a trailer the other day hauling stuff away. I don't know.
Hauling more stuff away.
Yeah, he backed up at the far end out there. He had a truck with a little trailer. Yeah, I don't see a whole lot of people there anymore.
Have we heard anything about the Black Diamond?
It showed up, and reported, and
I've been in contact with their engineer, since the last meeting, and it's been radio silence. So,
Been what?
radio silence, nothing's come out, I've not received anything, so hopefully they'll have something.
they'll have something, I'm gonna chain it off, so.
Okay, how many days have they got from this last one, from here, from last month?
Yeah, right off.
While we're here, set a timeline, if they haven't acted or came before the board, how many days before I say, put a stop work order on them and chain it off?
Well, they were here, what,
Last month,
last month on,
was that the owner?
yeah, that was the owner.
You think that, Todd needs to
February
write him a
2nd.
letter first?
Have you talked to anybody?
No, I had no word, but
Okay.
I tell you what, I was gonna say, I was really impressed with what y'all handled that. I mean, I introduced myself, talked to him there a little bit, and he said something about the water, and I said, well, that's, not going to be, they can't, we don't have the maintenance for that, but anyhow, I said, but, I didn't have to say a thing. I mean, everything I was thinking, y'all were proud of.
Yeah.
And it's just business, that's all it is.
Yeah, they
That was the plan. That's what bothered me. That was their plan.
It was a plan.
Let's tell them what we're gonna do to get it approved, but then let's just go a totally different route.
That's exactly what they did.
You know what I mean? It's just ridiculous. Like I told them on the phone every time I talked to them, I said, that's the best road we had in Unicoi.
And their site plan has been expired for, what, almost a year and a half now, something like that? So
Yeah,
It's
and-
been long.
And this stuff he brought up at the last meeting about putting tar down, you know what, Todd, everybody here knows what it's like when the roads in Unicoi weren't paved.
Yeah.
And the county come around, they put tar down on them and gravel. That'd be nothing but a tarry mess out here,
Yeah.
so.
This is just my opinion, but I would hold them to being paved or nothing.
Well-
That's what I told them. I said, you told us you were gonna do this, and now it's we can't afford it. Well, then why did you say that to begin with?
Because we might not approve it if we knew it wasn't gonna be.
Yeah.
They claimed it was gonna be.
Todd, you wanna set a time limit? I mean, it's already been a month.
About coming tonight, I mean, you said it.
It's been a month, he was gonna let us know something.
Well, so whatever you guys decided on, I'll reach out to that COO in the morning and say, listen, they were supposed to come back to site plan last night, it didn't happen, so the board decided at that point, we were gonna set a timeline. If you've not complied within this, whatever period you give them, then we're gonna put a stop work order on.
When is the deadline to submit something for the next meeting?
It'd be 10 days.
Before?
Before next meeting.
You'll
So
give
the
them
next
30.
meeting is the 6th.
You gonna give them 30 days from this meeting or not?
Let's just, why don't we just say 20 days from today? And so.
For a site plan or action?
Action, not
They need
little.
they need to be on the agenda for next month's meeting.
With a site plan, ready to go.
What are they gonna do? Yeah, what's the plan?
And not, and them not, and
So 3 weeks from today, how about that? 3 weeks today, that's the 23rd.
And work again within
the
some.
23rd.
And then he's supposed to be.
I'll put it on the agenda either way. But,
That way, if they don't show up, you can still take action on the next thing.
All right.
Put it on the agenda.
Todd, I'll kind of defer to you a little bit, but in my opinion, I think we need to see something over there too. They already know they're not supposed to be existing how they are. There's been nothing to remedy that situation whatsoever. So I don't know what that looks like, but there's been no movement at all.
No.
Well, I think we need to also state that he's lost his opportunity to chip his tar, because he was gonna research all that, come back to us with.
And he,
And so now he lost that option. We were gonna maybe look at that,
but,
but now, that's the penalty for not coming and giving us some info.
Asphalt or concrete, a time frame.
I'm sorry?
So I'm gonna ask him, asphalt or concrete, and a time frame that you plan to
Yes.
have the action, and when you're gonna bring us the blueprints for doing so.
Yes.
And then you're gonna be on next month's meeting, if you don't show up, then the next day we're gonna chain you off, put the stop work order on you.
I'll put it on the agenda. I don't know.
Okay.
Then on that parking, wasn't he supposed to also?
and not have it, not let him, he can't say, okay, that's what I'm gonna do, and then wait till August to get started on it.
No, then the
No.
cost goes in.
In order, those
Well, so it would
structures
be the
don't
same
sit
thing.
overnight.
Once
They're supposed to
approved, he
last.
has 60 days to make some kind of movement on the site plan, or it's gonna be voided again. So he's gotta do something.
He's trying to drag us out as long as he
All right, so
can.
do that, put that on the agenda for next month. If we don't show, we can take action,
And only
go
so
to the
many
next
trucks
meeting,
supposed to be parked there, aren't they? And we're not gonna open up and see
stand
it
out
come
there with your
down.
sign.
It's right. You shout on it. It's right.
What about the trucks that's parked in there, what are you gonna do, have them to move?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
I'll go in there and I'll tell whoever's on me, but do that day, hey, listen, everybody's gonna have to move over here, because I'm here and close this parking lot.
Yeah.
And blame it on the mayor.
Yep,
Because we had a good place.
put his phone number on the sign.
We can go up and use the bathroom and.
no, on this one, you have to put Todd's number on the sign.
No.
Go up here at the end of the road,
Yeah.
turn left and go to the end of that street.
Go to the golf course.
And- No, I mean out there with your business.
Yeah, the business.
Yeah, just park out there and wait on him.
Parking right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they park it out there. They just park out there and go in and see Todd.
I'd like to say too, before we leave, I'm real excited about us getting this quick work with here. We'll open the bids Wednesday, 2:00, and it's time for us to move on. We've been like that too long. And Terry, I thought me and Terry could work together. I told him, I don't think we're the best buddy, I just need to work with you. And, then when you get a call and said, well, we voted not to work with you, we can't work, he can't work out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I said, Eve, we pay him, and I told Eve, I said, well, you may miss that. Let's see, $474,000 some odd dollars for the last 4.5 years. I told Eve, I said, that might bite in your budget a little bit. But we had some real good bids on that other work, didn't we? I mean, we had, 7 people bid on
Yeah.
that? We had people bid on the mowing, so we got somebody coming in mowing the grass for the town. And then that'll free Tony and Mike up to work the tractor and the excavator. And I just told him up here at the meeting, I didn't argue with him, I said, it's good. Cody said, we've had 25 years to get ready for it. He's right, okay. And I said, it's gonna be better than it ever has. So it's time for us, I think it's a good thing. I said, it's gonna be better than it ever was. And it's time for us. We don't have to beg him, even though we spend our tax dollars.
So he's not gonna do the plug hole or anything?
Well, I don't know about that, it's fast few. But, said, well, let's have begging that they put one more tile in. Said, well, put one more tile in and show the guys how to do it. And, but we'll get our equipment in here. It's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be good. We need to get started on that. Keep rolling, take care of our safety.
What's the latest on
getting that separation